Welcome to Prepare to Vote, the 3 Ways to Vote, an online tutorial that's sponsored by the League of Women Voters of Westchester County Education Foundation. In today's webinar, you're going to learn about how to develop your own plan of action and having all the information that you need to make an informed decision about the best way for you to vote here in Westchester County. But let's begin first by learning a little bit more about the League of Women Voters. The League of Women Voters was officially started in 1920 and founded in the city of Chicago, 6 months just before the 19th Amendment was ratified and women won the right to vote. Since 1920, the League of Women Voters has encouraged informed participation in government. We always strive to increase understanding of public policy issues through education and advocacy. The League works to register and provide voters with election information through voter guides, candidate forms, and debates. The League does not support or oppose candidates or political parties. The League is an activist, grassroots organization whose members believe that voters should play a critical role in their democracy, and membership is open to anyone over the age of 16. We are now celebrating in 2020 the 100th year anniversary of the start of the League of Women Voters, in which the organization has empowered voters and defended democracy. Over the last century, the League has fought for election protection, democratic reform, and equal access to the ballot, all while maintaining commitment to nonpartisanship and fostering an informed electorate. As the League looks into the next 100 years, the League aims to build power for the next generation of women leaders and voting rights activists. And by the way, the League is not for women only. So let's begin our presentation today learning about the 3 ways to vote. In New York State, Governor Cuomo has signed several election reform bills affecting the 2020 general election in New York State due to the COVID-19 pandemic. He wants to be able to ensure that all voters are able to vote safely and early. The state and the Westchester County Boards of Elections have updated all information regarding voter registration, absentee ballot process, early voting, and so much more. And all this information can be found on their websites. In today's webinar, we'll focus on the 3 ways of voting here in Westchester County. First, we can vote by absentee ballot. We can also vote in person at any early voting location in Westchester County. And we can also vote in person at your assigned polling location on election day. So we want to start by really determining what is your plan of action. And we at the League feels there's about 4 steps involved in developing a plan of action. The first step is registering to vote. You must be registered by October 9th, or check your voter registration status for accuracy by October 14th. Step 2 is prepare to vote by deciding how you plan to vote. Step 3, if you decide that you prefer to vote via an absentee ballot, apply for your absentee ballot. And then step 4 is all about voting. So let's talk about step 1 in your plan of action. Obviously, you must find out, are you registered to vote? So please, again, register by October 9th. Remember also to check your registration status for accuracy sometime in September or early October. That deadline is October 14th to ensure that all your information is correct within the Board of Elections system. We then go on to step 2. You have to decide how you plan to vote. What is the best way for you to vote? Is it via an absentee ballot? Is it voting via early voting? Or are you going to vote on election day? If you prefer to vote in person, think about avoiding the anticipated long lines and vote early. Of course, you may also vote on Election Day, November 3rd. But if you're going to vote in person, think about how you're going to get there. What is the mode of transportation that you will be using? And think about your tolerance for standing on long lines for perhaps a long period of time, and it could even be inclement weather. Remember to wear your face mask and also socially distance 6 feet apart. If you decide that you would like to vote via an absentee ballot, you must apply for it now. You can apply in any number of ways, but we are encouraging you to do that now. The deadline may be later on in the month of October, but please start early. So of the several ways that you can apply for an absentee ballot is you can apply via the New York State Board of Elections online tool at absenteeballot.elections.ny.gov. Or you can send an email request to the Westchester County Board of Elections to the address that's noted here. Or you can even fax a request to our County Board of Elections to the numbers listed here. You can also mail a letter to the Westchester Board of Elections, and be sure to include your name, your date of birth, your address where you are registered, the address where the ballot is to be sent, the reason for the request. For example, could be temporary illness if it is COVID-19 related, and then finally your signature. You can also apply in person at the Westchester County Board of Elections in White Plains. And then finally, you can also download and mail an application to the Westchester Board of Elections at 25 Quaropa Street, White Plains, New York, 10601. The application for an absentee ballot, if you're going to select that way to vote, again, you must apply. Now, the deadline may be October 27th, but you don't want to wait for that. That's only a week before Election Day. Please, you must be applying now for your absentee ballot because you want to ensure that you receive it in time. Once your application is received at the Board of Elections, you will receive your absentee ballot, and they will be mailed out after the end of September, probably the first week of October at this point. But you can get all this information on the Westchester County Board of Elections website. It's at citizenparticipation.westchestergov.com. You're going to apply for an absentee ballot using the New York State Board of Election online tool. This is what the landing page actually looks like. So again, go to absenteeballot.elections.ny.gov and you'll get this landing page. Select your county. You have a little drop down, click on the arrow, obviously select Westchester County. Last name, first name, date of birth, your zip code, and then click on the search button. The next page that will display is your voter information, and you'll also have additional questions to answer, but it only takes minutes, less than 5 minutes. It is safe, it is easy, and it is secure. If you prefer to use the absentee ballot application form, they are available in both English and Spanish, just as the online tool is. Both languages are offered, and you can download the form or pick it up at the Westchester County Board of Elections. Let's go through what the application actually looks like to request an absentee ballot, because there are a number of fields that you will be required to complete. Field number 1 is why you are requesting an absentee ballot. In New York State, we must give a reason. We have a number of reasons. You're going to be traveling, or perhaps you are in a hospital, etc. However, if this is COVID related, that even if you are not ill and you prefer not to go to a physical polling location, you may request an absentee ballot due to temporary illness. That is the reason that you are to select, is temporary illness. It's physical disability. All right, may not technically apply to you, but that is what the governor has approved for all of us to use. In section number 2, make sure that you check the absentee ballot is requested for the general election only. And then obviously complete number 3, 4, and 5. Section number 6, you can skip, all right? That does not need to be filled in. It is regarding the primary election. We come up to section number 7. That is regarding where would you like your ballot delivered to. So you can authorize someone to pick it up for you, or you can have it mailed to you at wherever you are residing at that point, or you can actually go pick it up by selecting Deliver to Me in person at the Board of Elections. And then finally in section 8, you must sign and date it. If there's no signature or date, it will not be accepted. Now again, let's review these dates. October 27th is the final deadline, but please do not wait. It is much too close to the November 3rd election day. And this October 27th day means it's the last day to postmark your application for an absentee ballot by mail. And November 2nd is the last day to apply in person for an absentee ballot. Some important deadlines for you to remember are the October 9th dates that we already talked about regarding voter registration, and also October 14th would be checking your registration information for accuracy. But October 9th is the last day to postmark your voter registration form. October 9th is also the last day to register to vote in person at the Westchester Board of Elections office in White Plains. Again, October 27th, the last day to postmark your application for an absentee ballot by mail. But with that only being a week away, we at the League are really encouraging you do not wait that late. November 2nd is the last day to apply in person for an absentee ballot. November 3rd is the last day to postmark your absentee ballot, and it needs to be received by the Board of Elections by November 10th. So it must be postmarked November 3rd or before. We encourage that, but it has to be received by November 10th in order for it to be counted. And then November 3rd is the last day to deliver an absentee ballot in person at the Westchester Board of Elections, because that is election day, November 3rd. But again, please don't wait to take action and really try to beat those deadlines. The fourth step in your plan of action is all about the vote. So please, you can vote by mailing your completed absentee ballot before November 3rd. You can vote by dropping off your absentee ballot at any Westchester County early voting center during their hours of operation. There will be drop boxes there for you to submit your ballot. Those drop boxes then are returned to the Board of Elections every night of those 9 days and evenings, all right? It goes back to the Board of Elections, the drop box is emptied, and then returned the next day. So please, you can drop off your absentee ballot, again, at early voting centers, or at the Westchester County Board of Elections in White Plains, or at any polling location on election day. That's November 3rd. Obviously, you can vote in person at any early voting center in Westchester County. The dates are October 24th through November 1st, and there are 17 locations throughout the county. We can go anywhere to vote early. You can also vote in person at your assigned polling location on election day on November 3rd. So that's the difference. Early voting, we can go anywhere in the county, but for election day, you must go to your assigned polling location. So how do we even cast our absentee ballot? Once you receive your ballot, you've applied for it and now you receive it, mark the ballot according to your choices for each office, and please follow the instructions on the ballot. Once you have completed marking your ballot, fold it up and place it in the security ballot envelope. This envelope will also have an indication, a line for you to sign. Sign and date the outside of the security ballot envelope. Seal the security ballot envelope. This is where your ballot is in this envelope. You will then place the security ballot envelope in the return ballot envelope. So with your absentee ballot, you're getting 2 envelopes. All right, your ballot envelope goes inside the return ballot envelope. And this is the one that has the return address of the Westchester County Board of Elections, and also should have a logo that reads Official Election Mail. So how do we return our ballot? Let's review that again. Put it in the mail, ensuring it receives a postmark no later than November 3rd. Bring it to the Westchester County Board of Elections no later than November 3rd. Bring it to any early voting center in Westchester County between October 24th to November 1st. Bring it to any polling location on November 3rd, and vote in person at your assigned polling location on November 3rd. So I also want to go back to the early voting. The early voting centers where you can drop off your absentee ballot are during their hours of operation, October 24th through November 1st. You will submit your ballot there into a secure drop box. If there happens to be a line of people standing outside the early voting center, you can skip the line. Go right up to the door. An election inspector will probably be posted there, and just walk in, tell the election inspector that you have your absentee ballot, and you can then submit it. This screen just shows you the 17 early voting centers throughout Westchester County. Again, you want to check the website to check on the hours for each one. You may even have already received a postcard in the mail. But again, you can go anywhere to vote October 24th through November 1st. I also want to share with you a couple of tools that would be very helpful for you to prepare for your voting. And the first one is vote411.org. Now, we all know that election rules differ from state to state and sometimes even change from year to year. Look at what we have faced this year in 2020. But by using vote411.org, you can register to vote, you can check your voter status, you can confirm your polling location, you can even check and see if an ID is required, and also see what your personal ballot will look like. And by entering in your home address on vote411.org, you can see ballot questions that you'll be voting on. You can compare answers to questions that the league has posted to the candidates, and really so much more. So confirming this information before you head to the polls really will help you save time and will also help you make those better informed decisions. A second tool that we'd like to share with you is a texting service that is offered by the League of Women Voters of New York State. And this is a good service for you to receive any voting updates and also reminders. We don't anticipate any more law and legislation changes, but if there are any, you can receive it through this texting service in a very timely manner. So sign up today. All you have to do is text VOTENY, so it's VOTENY, you put that in your message, and you're going to send it to 474747. Another great tool for you to use. And where else can you get voting information for Westchester County? Well, go directly to the Westchester County Board of Elections, 25 Horopus Street, White Plains, New York, 10601. And their phone number is 914-995-5700. And again, their website is citizenparticipation.westchestergov.com. And then finally, you can also email us at the League of Women Voters of Westchester County at westchesterlwv@gmail.com. My final words for you today: do everything early and get out the vote. Thank you.